identity. And so it limits your ability to function outside of that identity you've made if you've made that a part of who you are and how you show up, if that makes sense. So this does not why is it saying that you can, I don't know what the hell I did. That does not mean your pain is not valid. So typically what's usually I find that sets people off is like this idea that my pain is invalid. No, your pain is not invalid. It's just not different from anyone else's. Like everybody experiences pain. Everybody experiences anger. Everybody experiences disappointment and trauma and dot, 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 dot. But it is also how we navigate it and how we manage it so we are not imprisoned by it. So we are not defined by it. So we are not consumed by it. But the trick with that is to say it, not spray it. One, and then two, I would actually encourage you to get into therapy, because a lot of times what I find is that people are stuck in the cycle of their pain consuming their identity because they cannot get to the root of it. And they're consumed by the idea that I am stuck in this cycle of pain. Not only now am I experiencing and re-experiencing the pain that I had before, now I've created a prison for myself in pain, and now I'm creating chaos out of it. And quite frankly, a lot of people don't understand how to get out of the cycle because they're so immersed in it emotionally that it's hard to see your way out of it. And the beautiful thing about therapy is this person is not invested in the outcome for you. They're not in, and what I mean by that is typically with our family and friends, they care about us, they love us, blah, blah, blah. They don't want to hurt our feelings, they want to protect us, blah, blah, blah. That's not the therapist's role. I would say, and again, this is just a suggestion. Let me turn this light on, y'all. This is just a suggestion. I would encourage someone who does well with trauma, who does well in working with people who have experienced trauma. I would also say someone who does like intergenerational work. So, which means that they're going to go back into it, who you were as a child, patterns of your family, all of that. So like some of the things I would do with clients sometimes is like genograms. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with what those are, but genograms are like a tracking of familial patterns, experiences, behavior. So for example, one of the cool things about genograms is you're tracking, right? So let's say we start with, hey, tell me about, grandparents, great grandparents. You can track substance use. I just want to use that as an example. So you have like a physical or a visual of what these patterns look like in families. It is such a cool thing to do. I love doing genograms. They are very, very time consuming. They do take a while, but they are so worth it. So worth it. So worth it. And you said I grew up first generation Mexican American. So the other thing I would say too is to make sure you find a I'm glad. Yes, I love a genogram. I love a geno. As a therapist, that was one of the first in graduate school. One of the first tools I was like, I'm gonna use on every single client. I don't, but I love them, and I do try to do them sometimes, especially because I like to visual. I'm a visualizer. That's the way that I learn the best and I process the best, is that I visualize the experience. I need to see it. So even while people are talking, I'm kind of looking around and I'm like, again, I'm visualizing. I'm putting the visual together of what it looks like. That's also why I use a lot of metaphors too in my work. Is I use a lot of metaphorical work. I would say too, I saw that you were a first generation Mexican American. Find someone who is culturally aligned or who is culturally affirming and aware. I'm going to tell you why. And I'm sure you very well know this, especially as a first generation Mexican American. It is nothing worse than getting in a space that's supposed to feel safe that then feels intrusive and culturally harmful or racist or prejudiced. So you also want to make sure that you find someone who is aware of their bias, is culturally affirming and like open. Not that they are experts, but they can support you where you are and also be open to your story. Yeah, I mean, listen, the other thing I would encourage is to check with your insurance company. um Depending on what kind of insurance you have, look on the back of your card, go to the insurance company's website, and then go through their providers that are accepting new clients, and you can do what's called an interview or a consult. You do a consult and you just kind of, I call it a two-way interview. I'm seeing if you work for me as a therapist, and you're seeing if I work for you as a client. Because it may not work. I've told people in consults, I don't think this is for you, sis. I'm not for you. I'm very abrupt. I am very intense. I can be very assertive and very aggressive. I want to keep you for a good time, not a long time. So I don't want you in my chair for 10 years. No, thank you. No, no, thanks. No. We gonna get to the shit, and we gonna get to it fast. Quick, fast. Um, and we get to it fast. I try to not choose violence on the first session, but lately haven't given a fuck. And this is also why. I believe in radical truth. I believe in radical transparency. I believe in radical engagement. I'm not here to hold your hand. I'm not here to sugarcoat things for you. I'm not your friend. You've been enabled and all those things enough somewhere else. No, thank you. That's not. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. Oh, no, that's okay. Okay, so there are therapy funds. Let me make a note of that, because I'm gonna make a note to try to post some resources. There are therapy funds, especially if you are connected to the service in any way. If you're a veteran, if you're an active duty member or a family member, if you're not any of those things, because they have separate resources for that. But they have therapy funds, especially for people of color, where you can get like a certain amount of sessions that either will be completely paid for or at an extremely reduced cost. Check OpenPath. OpenPath is for people who typically don't have insurance, and it is a low cost therapeutic option. It's called OpenPath. There's man, one just slipped my mind. I'm adverse to like a BetterHelp or something like that, because I have some of my therapy friends that are on there and they're cool therapists, but use it at your own risk. Okay. Yeah. I like to be able to interview my therapist. I like to be able to have more control over my experience. Because trust and believe, your girl is in therapy. Okay. The best therapists are in therapists. I believe that. And I learned that shit the hard way in graduate school, when I thought I was all that in a bag of fucking chips. Okay. And in graduate school, they would say, my professor said to me, as a requirement, you have to go to therapy. And I'm like, why do I need to go in therapy? I'm not crazy. Nothing's wrong with me. What's up? Like, mind you, I'm trying to be a therapist. He's like, yeah, but it's a requirement of the program. I'm like, whatever. Let me go get this lady to sign this goddamn paper and let me go about my way. 15 minutes into it, I don't know who I thought I was or why I thought I had my shit together, but I was gladly reminded and gathered very quickly. And needless to say, I've been in and out of therapy ever since. I've been in and out, okay? Because I need somewhere to dump my shit, because everybody dumps their shit here, and that's my job, and I love it and I appreciate it. I need somewhere to dump my shit so my dumping place doesn't become their experience, and because therapy is 100% about them. So the best therapists have therapists because they're constantly working their shit out somewhere the fuck else, okay? That's one thing I like to say quite, and I believe that. And I learned the hard way that you can think whatever the fuck you want. Someone will gladly gather you and show you how much crazy you got ungathered. Okay. And they gathered me very quickly. It was quite abrupt, actually. But it also reminded me that we have blind spots. We have blind spots. We can think, and I'm going to tell you the other thing that I learned as a therapist. We're going to get to the productivity, I promise. One of the things that I learned as a therapist, and y'all, I started my program, my master's program in 2008. Okay. That's going to age me, but let's move forward. Okay. No, I don't take Medi-Cal. I'm in Virginia, so I only take Virginia insurance, but I can provide coaching services, but my coaching services are all out of pocket. So I know that typically is can sometimes be very intrusive, financially intrusive for people because coaching is expensive. But I provide coaching services, and I can provide coaching services if you live in a different state. I just can't accept your insurance if you're not in Virginia, and I provide therapy for people that live in and have insurance in Virginia. But thank you for that question. It does not. Thank you. I appreciate that because listen, okay. So I started my graduate program in 2008, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I got fired by my first client because I thought I was a shit, and I was gathered very quickly, very fast. I didn't know shit. But oh, girlfriend, I thought I was so good, and I was very much not. Very much not good, very much fire me, very much get me the fuck out of here, because why do you think you're that good and you're not? Don't ever think that. And so funny enough, I also teach graduate school. So now one of the things I tell my graduate students when they start my class is you don't know shit. And I want to make sure we're on the same page. So you know that I know that you don't know shit. So I don't expect you to know a whole lot of shit, because I also want you to be clear about how you navigate this class knowing you don't know shit. I want you to be confident and you don't know shit, but don't be confident that you think you know things that you really don't know, because I'm going to gather you, and I'm going to gather you very fucking fast. And that's also how I teach my classes. It is very abrupt. It is very intense, because you are dealing with people's lives. Like you're not skipping down the street having a good goddamn time. People are like bringing you and giving you access and privilege into their experience. You are going to have an impact on their life. You can't fuck around and let you and your bullshit pour out into their lives. They got enough going on. You need to be able to know what you don't know. You need to be able to gather your own self very quickly. You need to know your lines and boundaries and spaces you don't need to be. You need to have a lot more awareness than they do. They are the client, not you. And interestingly enough, I had a client today. I had a couple today that I saw before I went on maternity leave almost 3 years ago, right? And so what's funny is they came in and I was like, dang, how long had it been? Because I haven't seen y'all in, it's been years. And so they laughed and was like, you know why? Because you went on maternity leave for 6 months. And I did. And I did go on maternity leave for 6 months because when I had my 8-year-old, and this is just the way life worked at the time, we were living in Louisiana. We had moved up here just on a whim, like we want to try something different. So we moved up here. And I had gotten pregnant and I had started a new job. So I was working for the city as a clinical supervisor of a program. And I had no FMLA. I had no built up leave. I was pregnant and just got insurance, and I had to go back to work in 4 weeks. I had 4 weeks off of work, and I had an emergency C-section. 4 weeks off of work. Brand new mom. This was my first child that I birthed, and I had to be back at work at 4 weeks. So much so that my parents, one at a time, had to take a week each to watch our child because my husband had to go back to work. Mind you, we moved up here. He had to start a new job too. So we were fucked. And it was really, really hurtful to me. Quite frankly, it just really fucked with me emotionally. I don't want to go as far as to say it was traumatic. The C-section and all that was traumatic, but it just really did something to me emotionally, adjusting as a new mom, not having time off, not having any money to like just be off. I didn't have time or money for any of that. So the second time around, I took 6 months off, and y'all, that was one of the best decisions I ever made. I had postpartum with both of my kids, severe postpartum. So I got to stay home and do what I love. I was baking bread. I love to cook. I love to bake. So I'm baking bread. They're coming home to fresh baked bread. I'm doing laundry. I love to clean by myself. I'm cleaning the house. Me and the baby, we rolling. We good. I had the time of my life, but I needed that. I needed the reset. I needed to be sad and depressed and not have to go to work the next day. And I knew it was bad because I'm still running my business. Even though I'm not seeing clients, I'm still have to run payroll. I still got to pay people. I still got to have meetings. I didn't want to do any of it. None of it. I had zero interest. I was dreading it. I didn't want to talk on the phone. I didn't want to text. I didn't want to email. I would just get irritated. I didn't want to have nothing to do with it. So much so that I thought about closing my business down and going to get a traditional job because I was just over it. So full circle, now these clients are coming back to me and they're like, man, we missed you. Man, we missed you. And I'm like, man, I haven't seen y'all. I love the work that we were doing together, you know? And it was something, you know, my client was telling me just about their experience in being in therapy and feeling invalidated and, you know, feeling dismissed and feeling overlooked. And I know it happens. Y'all, the stories that I've heard from from clients about therapists, some of it is just like, what? Like, bruh, falling asleep. Now I've had a sleepy day or two. My eyes may be like, 10 minutes left. We can do this, sis. But falling asleep, I went to a therapist once, and what really pissed me off is it was a Black woman. She sat in front of me with her laptop doing this bullshit right here. Well, I don't know why you just can't stop. If I could just stop, do you think I would need to come see you? If I could just stop, do you think I would need to come see you for any reason? I'm just a question for inquiring minds. Like, I never went back. I was furious. Or a therapist I went and saw was a white man, right? I already had my feelings about cultural inclusivity and racism and all the things, okay? Culturally sensitive. And he sat there and he talked about himself for 45 minutes. Sir, am I sitting here? Did I pay a copay for this? I don't give a fuck. Like, sir, 45 minutes. I never went back. This is about me. If there is listen. If there is any time you're going to be selfish, self-involved, this is all about me, fuck all that other shit, guess where you get to do that? Guess where you get to do that? In therapy. Guess where? Because it is all about you. 100%. It's all about you. If there was ever a time, therapy is it. All about you. You get celebrated. You get to talk about the man you don't want to break up with, that you hate, that you didn't went back and forth with 72 times, 172 times. Guess where you get to do that? Yes, therapy. It's all about you. All. I had a therapist who was online shopping and I could see the not the reflection in her glasses. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? Mama's got to be doing something with her hands. The way this ADHD is set up, okay? The way it's set up is that I usually need to type or fiddle or write or something or I got to do something. Okay? Because the way my focus works is, guess what? I'm focusing way better. I hear everything you saying. I'm even processing it very well. Let mamas go. Let mamas go. I had my intern in a session with me. My intern, who's now, she's about to be so proud of her. She's sent her paperwork in. My resident. She was my intern. Now she's my resident. Sent her paperwork in to be licensed. I was her supervisor. I am her supervisor. I love her. She's amazing. She was sitting in one of my sessions. So anytime I take on interns, they shadow me for a while before I give my residents or like my master's level interns their own clients. So she would sit there with me and I would be fiddling with shit. Like I'll have stress balls. I got shit in my hand. I'm building shit, whatever. And so she asked me one day, she was like, why are you doing that? And I'm like, girl, so I can sit here and finish this session, girl. Because the way my focus is, I want to get on Amazon. I want to get on and build me a trip to Africa. I want to go build an app. I want to put music on my phone. The way that my mind is set up is that I want to do all these things all at once and then still listen to you. That's the way it's set up for me. So everybody can feel respected here. Let me do whatever the hell I'm doing. Okay? Okay. Because it works. On any given day, y'all, you could catch me playing Call of Duty, listening to YouTube, and then building something with AI on my laptop all at the same motherfucking time. Do you hear me? I have my headphone on with YouTube on my phone. I got my Call of Duty on mute because I'm a savage and I'll be fucking these kids up. It quite frankly gives me joy. Talk about where do you take out all of your frustration? Call of Duty. If you ever needed an idea about where you would find some joy and just fucking shit up, Call of Duty. And you always have access. Joy. I'm doing it as soon as I get off here, y'all. After I put my kiddos down, fucking these kids up. They be talking so much shit on there. So much shit. They don't know I'm old, bruh, and I'm fucking you up. Stop playing with me. But I could be playing Call of Duty, listening to Fact Talk by T.S. Madison and Craig the Writer Stewart. It is hilarious. It's hilarious. If you haven't heard it, listen. The one thing I'm not going to do is be in therapy all day, listening to people and they're dumping the suffering and the trauma and the fear and all the things. And then I go out of here and then I listen to something dramatic or traumatic. I can't do it. I'm telling y'all, in my free time, I am listening to comedy. I need to listen to things that make me laugh. I keep up with the news through like the CNN app, but I also curate my content because I don't want all these messy ass stories and shit. I don't even be interested in that. I hear messy stories for a living. I hear trauma and suffering for a living. I hear the most egregious shit for a living. I don't want to hear it in my free time. So I focus on like funny. I'm getting like, I don't know how many of you like what is it called? How many of you like Game of Thrones? I love Game of Thrones. I'm going back. I started at 1 yesterday. A few days ago. Do you hear me? Season 1, episode 1. I'm going back through because why not? Because feed my spirit and my soul. Okay. Hello. I need things that take me away from here. Take me away from the political bullshit. Take me away from the hurt and harms of the world. Take me away from all the things people are suffering with, including myself and my family. Take me away from all of the responsibility, all of the bills, all of the concerns and worries, all of the people that need things that you ain't got, all of the things that you need that you ain't got. Take me away. Take me away from here. Give me fantasy. Give me a Targaryen with a dragon. Send me on my way. Okay? Send me on. Take me away. So I could be easily watching HBO or YouTube on my phone in my ear, playing Call of Duty, and building shit on my laptop all at the same time. How are you productive? This is going into our productive conversation, y'all. As y'all come in, like, share the live. How to be productive when you don't have motivation. Make a goddamn choice. Make a choice. I'm going to give you another example. When I had my son, I was 191 pounds. I am 4'10". I was a big broad. Big back, very, very large and in charge. Very small, very nowhere for the weight to go. Okay? Had nowhere to go. SpongeBob SquarePants in the face. Definitely giving SpongeBob. There are pictures I've posted here. I've told one of my friends, if I showed you a picture of me, because this was before we were cool, if I showed you a picture of me, it's definitely giving SpongeBob in the face. Okay? Square, large. Okay? It just is. There's no shade here. All right? I was large. Sometimes you don't even know how bad it's gotten till you realize how bad it's gotten. And again, after I had my son, even before I had my son, there was a lot of weight from my daughter. After I stopped breastfeeding, I was bigger than I was before I had her. I blew the fuck up. I had no idea. No idea. So this time around, once I had my son, again, I was even bigger than that. I started working out. I work out 4 days a week. Before I would include swim, because it's a full body workout, but I include dance. I dance on the treadmill. I dance in the gym. I do heavy lifting. I do light lifting, but I do a lot of circuits on my own. And my routine is tight. So like typically when I'm changing my schedule next week, I get up, I'm at the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. I get up at 4:30. So I could be at the gym at 5. I have to be done at about 6:30, get in the shower, go ahead and head to one of my gigs that I do 2 days a week, 2.5 days a week. But that's 4:30 in the morning that I'm up and I'm at the gym, because that's the only way that I can work out. Then I'm still doing my private practice. So I have to do all the managerial tasks attached to that. And I'm still building things, still writing, still doing all the things. So my schedule, all of my free time is productive. If I need rest, like I will rest, where I'm not doing any work or anything, but my ideas don't stop. So a tricky thing for me is being able to learn how to rest without being productive, because I am a doer. And this is kind of what I like to explain to some of my clients. It's like there's a difference between someone who dreams and someone who is a doer. You have people who dream and they have big dreams and they have wonderful ideas and they're very talented and skilled and all the things. But are they going to do anything about it? Probably not. Probably not. Because it still requires you to do something. You could be as talented as you want to be and do nothing with it. It's all about production. And I produce. But that's also because I don't see it as an option. So when I had my son, I was 191 pounds. I am 136 pounds. This is now, he'll be 3, so almost 3 years later. And I'm now the smallest I've ever been in like years. 136 pounds from 191 pounds. But I am consistent. I also manage what I eat better because eating was my problem for a very long time, which is why I got stagnant at a weight I just couldn't get past because my eating was terrible. So now I navigate that differently. I also have my ADHD symptoms managed much better than they were before, which is very, very, very helpful. So one thing that I think is atypical that people don't typically know about, and I even thought it was depression, was um, my eating habits. I was obsessing over food, and I thought it was depression. It was not. It was not. Interesting. It was not until I thought one day I was like, what if this is not depression? Hmm. So once I started managing my diet, I don't even want to call it a diet, but my relationship with food, consistently working out, making sure I'm taking care of my body. I incorporate vitamins every day. Um, and then I incorporate pleasure every day. So pleasure may be like if I have 15 minutes before my clients start, I'll play a quick game of Call of Duty just so I need to get it off. Let me set my day up right. If I'm on my way to my other job, I'm going to rock the fuck out with my music. I'm going to dance. I'm going to have a good time. A lot of times y'all see the material or the content that I post. I'm having a good time a lot of time. Now, do I always want to do it? No. But I love to dance. If I wasn't just having to sit here and talk to you guys to produce content, I'm not going to do it. I've tried. And I was looking at somebody today and I'm like, dang, they're talking and I know my shit. Why don't I just do it? I wouldn't do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do that for hours and hours. I just have no interest. Dancing brings me joy, and then I can type my words across the screen. That's super easy for me to do. And quite frankly, I can just put it in the little voice thing. It's just easier. But production is about choices. Do I want to go to the gym 4 days a week? No, I don't. Quite frankly, a lot of times I'm like, give me a reason. Give me a reason to stay home. Give me a reason. But the bottom line is, what's the alternative? That's the way I think about it. What is the alternative? In the hour and a half that you were going to stay home, you were going to do nothing. And sometimes I need to do nothing. But if an hour and a half of me being in the gym fed my spirit, fed my soul, got all my stress out, it really helped my bones move. It made me feel better and feel good about myself. And this day is going to build on the next, and the next. Why not? I've spent an hour and a half doing things that are way less productive. So why not? It's about choices. I don't give myself a choice. I'm going to the gym. I have set days. I'm going to the gym. Also being mindful of when you're most productive. I am not a productive person in the evening. I've been staying up late for like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning for the last couple of weeks, a lot of nights, but I'm trying to get shit done. And when I'm focused, I'm really fucking focused. And I got to get all my ideas out. I got to get it out. But I am most productive in the morning. I get up. I usually have a pretty good attitude, especially if I've rested well. So I'm way more productive and focused and engaging in the morning versus in the evening. If it's up to me, I typically like to go to sleep around 8 or 9. Leave it up to me. I'm done for the day. But I also start my day very early, again, because that's my most productive time. So consider, what is your most productive time? When are you most functional? When are you at your best? When do you find that your strengths are at their best and that you function well? And then try to put the task that you like to do the least at your most productive time. Don't try to put the task that you want to do the least at the time that you're least productive, because you are not going to do it. You're not going to do it. You already don't want to do it. You already don't want to do it. But you pair that with your most productive time, so that even though I may not want to do it, this is also when I'm more likely to do it because I'm productive. I'm motivated and like I have the energy. I have the focus, I have the time, or whatever that looks like for you. But pair it, pair it properly. I remember someone telling me rest is productive. It is. You can't listen. You fuck around and find out. You fuck around and find out when you stop taking care of yourself, meaning you're not getting enough sleep at night, meaning you're not eating properly or enough or fueling your body enough, meaning you're not going to the doctor. Y'all, I have to make sure I check in with clients to make sure they've been to the doctor at least in the last 2 to 3 years. People, so many people I realize don't take care of themselves. Doctor, dentist, you name it. And you would assume that that is a thing, but it's not. People do not do well with taking care of themselves. So for me, that's not optional. It is a priority. It's a priority. I make sure I go to the dentist. I make sure I go to the doctor. I make sure I take my vitamins every day. Though these Mary Ruth little TikToks, they're obsessive now because I don't know what's going on with that. But I've been taking Mary Ruth's. I love Mary Ruth's iron and I love the multivitamin. Why? Because I realized I don't do well with taking pills. I curate my life so not only can I be productive, that I am more likely to be successful, to put things in place that I enjoy more, so I am more likely to be successful at it, versus trying to force myself to do or have things that don't work well for me, and then I punish myself because I'm trying to engage in something that I absolutely hate or that just doesn't work. So typically I find people are trying to incorporate things in their lives that are not curated for them. My life, my routine, as much as I can, because I have small children and a husband, da da da. But as much as I can, I curate for me because I have to be at my best to do all the things for all the people and all the things. But I curate it. So think of it like this. Think of something that you want to be better at, that you find that you keep, I'm going to use the word fail just for the sake of this conversation, but that you're failing at or you're failing to move forward on. It's probably because you're setting yourself up to fail. How are you setting yourself up to be successful at it? Just like going to the gym. Maybe you're not going to wake up at 4:30. So why set yourself up to go at 4:30 if you know you're not going to wake up? Go after work. Go during your lunch break. There's more than one way to skin a cat. As long as it's done, do it the way that works for you so you can be productive. When I come in my office, I know you guys can't see it, but I always light candles because I'm a very sensory focused individual. So I can't come in my office and it smells like neem oil. And for those of you who don't know what neem oil is, it keeps bugs away, but that shit stinks to me and it irritates me. So I know for me, sensory wise, I have to have something that smells good. So I always have candles. My sister-in-laws for Christmas, they always buy me candles because I have them lit. When I leave here, I'm going to blow this out and light one in my room. It helps set the mood for me. The mood needs to be set, period. My plants set the mood for me. The lighting sets the mood for me. My clothes set the mood for me. I'm very particular about my clothes. One, because that is a reflection of my eccentricity and my uniqueness, but also the way I like to feel. That's important. How are you curating your lifestyle to work for you, not the other way around? Are you curating a lifestyle that works for you? And quite often I find that people are not. They are trying to force things that work for other people to work for them. And if you're forcing it, that means it doesn't work. And how likely are you going to be able to keep it up? That's the question. It's not whether you can do it or not. It's can you be consistent? You can do anything. You can do anything. Working on it more in the last 3 months. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. What are you working on? What are you working on incorporating or trying to be consistent with? Because consistency is key, you guys. And consistency doesn't mean you are perfect. Consistency means whatever the routine is, it's more often than not. It doesn't mean perfection. None of us are perfect, but it does definitely means that it is more often than not, and it is on a routine basis, whatever the routine is. Um, the other thing I will tell you is yes, absolutely, absolutely. Your clothes are not only a part of your esteem, it also is a reflection of your insides. Um, so much, so much. Everything from the color to the texture to the feel of it, like all of it, how you put it together, all of it is your inside out moment for surezies. I know it certainly is for me. Um, the other thing I would recommend is tracking. So one of the things I like to do, especially for my eating, is to set goals. So this is no promotion here because this app is all right. It's not even all that in a bag of chips for real. But I started using this one compared to the other one I was using. I'm using Macro Factor, and I like Macro Factor because it tracks your protein and intake and all of that, your micros and macros. So I'm trying to do better about that. So I use Factor because I'm trying to hit my protein goals daily. And for those of you who don't track protein or are not very familiar, protein is very hard to get down. It's very, very hard to get down because the smaller that I've gotten and the less that I eat, it is hard for me to eat all that food. It's a lot to get protein down. So I have to drink a lot of my protein. So I have like protein shakes, turkey sticks, things like that. I eat a lot of yogurts, like the Chobani Flips. Boy, oh boy, them damn things is good. I eat a lot of that. I do like again the protein shakes and stuff because eat. I can't eat a lot. I don't have the. I just don't have a capacity. So I drink a lot of my protein. But in order to build more muscle and tone, you have to have more protein. And I wasn't getting enough protein. So I track everything that I eat with Macro Factor, and I have been for the last like 2 months. And I've done again. That's the best way that I lose weight is when I track because I haven't quite hit my goal. I have a few more pounds to my goal, and then I'm good. But I'm just tracking because I want to tone up. I've lost the weight. Now I want to completely tone and make shit really look the way it's supposed to look. You know what I mean? But it's just making a choice. What I realized even about the gym was, or one of the things that helped me get better into the routine is I would put my clothes out every night before I went to bed. So I didn't have any excuses. Just get dressed. That's what I would tell myself. Get up and just get dressed. Because if you just get dressed and you get in the car, you're already gone. You're already there. It's done. That's all you got to do is get up, get dressed, get in the car. That's what I would tell. Just get up, get dressed, get in the car. Don't think about shit else. Don't, well, what if, well, I'm tired? Don't do that. Your clothes are already out. Get up, get dressed, go to the car. And then that just helped it be. Now I get dressed and I don't think much even about it. It's not even, I'm getting my kids together in the morning. That is probably, if on my mind at all, the least of, I don't even think about it. I don't even think about it. It's now ingrained that I get up on my days that I go to the gym. I get up. I just put my clothes on and I go. If I'm making up a day, I'll go early on Saturday morning. So I know if I missed a day during the week, Saturday morning is necessary. I have to go. I don't work out on Sundays. I don't, for any reason. Even if I miss more than one day, I'm not working out on Sundays. That is a rule. My Sundays are my day to reset, and that's it. The one thing we did do was go on family walks, which was really helpful. We would go early on Sunday mornings before we made breakfast together, because we usually eat breakfast together on Sunday mornings. We would go on a family walk, but outside of that, I'm not going to the gym on a Sunday day. No, that's a rule. The other thing is I write down. I am someone who likes to see it and touch it. So if you're that kind of person, I would encourage you to have 2 calendars. So I have like my Google Calendar and all of that. That's all synced and all. But I also have, do I have my backpack in here? I have a physical calendar. So I go get me one of those fun, dope calendars from like Michael's, or I don't shop at Target anymore, but Michael's. And I will keep that where I can write down my task every day. So like in the morning, I like to get up, and when I sit down for work, I like to just write down, get everything I need to dump. I got to get out of here and get it on the paper. Things I need to do, yada, 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 check up on, follow up on. I always get it out first. so that I can have it down. So I'm not worrying about it and I'm not worrying about remembering it. Oftentimes we're so worried about not forgetting something, we could have just got it out and then had our focus elsewhere. Get it out so you're not trying to focus on trying to remember it. Just get it out. Get it off you, as I like to call it. Get it off you. Other tips on being productive is delegating, which again I'm telling y'all I am still trying to do better with delegating better, because there are just things that I need to do, but there's also things I don't need to do. Um, but there's also a lot of things I just like to have my hands on. If I'm being frank, I like to have my hands on. But delegating, getting rid of some things. I used to have somebody come clean our house quarterly because it just got it off of me. To come home to a clean house was so relieving to me. Living in chaos is overwhelming to me. Living in chaos creates anxiousness for me. And when you have small kids and a partner, or for me a husband, and I'm not that kind of girl. Okay, my dad is has borderline OCD. Okay, so the way I grew up, I'm not gonna live in that. So I also am very mindful of like my space. My space needs to be clean. As much as it can be, it needs to be clean. It needs to be tidy. I need to be able to like walk around freely. I need to be, because it feels tighter as it's messier. So having a clean and clear space, being able to take showers without interruptions, that's just one of my needs. I love being in the shower because that's where I get to pray. That's where I get to have silence. That's where I get to focus on myself. That's where I'm interrupted, and it's water. Water is also very healing for me. But again, and I want y'all to hear me keep saying, for me, meaning I curate things to work for me. Water is very healing for me. I love taking showers. Love. Most times I'm taking 2 showers a day. I love taking showers. It is very relaxing to me. I'll bring my phone in and listen to fact talk or music, but also pray in the shower because again, I have a safe space and it is with water. So again, I'm just kind of telling you guys about some of my routines, if you will, or my ceremonial experiences, because that's how, as much as I can, I curate a life of wellness for myself, and I have routines of wellness and self-care, and I am very, 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 very productive. I just published a book. Actually, she'll be released at the end of this month, and I created a theory. So I'm really excited about that. When I was in graduate school, we didn't learn about any Black theorists. None. They were all white. Go figure. So I created a theory based on how I do my work. And I'm very proud of it. I'm very excited. And it's already written, had it edited and all that. And it will officially publish on Amazon at the end of this month, August 31st. So along with my book, and this is what I mean about productivity, you just get shit done. Like, and that doesn't mean you have to get it all done at once. You can work on that. I had been working on that book for months and months. But it's done because I also have my startup tech company that is launched. I have 3 apps in development as we speak. Mama's is working. Mama's is working. I'm working. Of course, I still have my therapy business, so I still see clients limitedly. Like I don't think I'm accepted. I don't know if I'm accepting clients or not. Traditional clients. I'm not accepting traditional clients. Coaching clients only, I believe, at this time, just because I don't have the room on my schedule. But I'm still seeing clients. I still have to run my business, that particular business. I still do crisis consulting. I was the PTA president last year. I got rid of that. Let me just say, okay? I was a PTA president of my daughter's school last year. I am definitely the mom that will cook, bake something. We can make time for what we want to make time for. Now, do I overwhelm myself a lot? Do I get on my own goddamn nerves a lot? Absolutely. 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 But I am extremely productive because my time, it always matters. It always matters. Think of it that way. How do I make my time matter? Maybe I make my time matter by recovering and resting, because resting is necessary. It's not optional. Resting is productive. Whoever said that earlier in the chat, resting is absolutely productive. It is necessary. It's not optional. Whether it's resting, whether it's doing something that brings you joy and pleasure, whether it's gardening or something that feeds your spirit and your soul, taking care of yourself is also part of being productive. Excuse me, again, making sure you're going to the doctor, making sure you're going to get that thing checked out that's been bothering you, making sure that you're going to the dentist, making sure that you are using these healthcare benefits that you're paying for. Please, EAP is really important. I'm not sure how many of you know what EAP is, but EAP is your employee assistance program. So for all of you who have commercial insurance, meaning you have insurance through your job, typically they have, thank you for joining. Typically they have what's called an employee assistance program, which is what EAP stands for. Typically with EAP, you get a certain number of free sessions. And if you don't use it, you lose it. Use your sessions. That means you don't have to pay a copay. It's no deductible attached. It is a completely free service to you. Typically, they give you 3, 5, 10, or 12 sessions, sometimes 8. But every year you get it. And this is between you and I. Typically, you get to go for a particular topic. So let's say you say, I'm going to use my 3 sessions. I'm grieving. You go, you use your 3 sessions. Most of the time, you can get away with going back on a totally different topic. So if you say, oh man, I've got work stress, I need more sessions. Typically, you can get more sessions. You didn't hear it from me, but you heard what you heard. Okay? Don't be afraid to ask. But that's totally free to you. So please use it. You can get a lot of resources through your EAP services, and you don't have any copays or anything attached to that. So please, please, please use that. But if you guys want to be productive, I would first start you with curating your life and your lifestyle to make sure it aligns with who you are and what works best for you. What works best for you, not for anyone else. People can get, you know what I realize, people can get on here and you have all these fitness gurus and all this bullshit. Everybody on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram is a goddamn expert and all this other bullshit, and they're not. And they're not. They just figured out how to do what works for them. They just figured out how to do what works for them, and they're just using words to say it out loud. It may work for somebody else. Because even as a therapist, I'm not an expert on you and your life and your experiences and what works for you. I would develop that information over time. Why is my daughter? No. Oh, shoot. Sorry about that. But just curate your life and your lifestyle to work for you. Your friends, your village, where you put your energy, your time, your effort, your boundaries, your day-to-day experiences. How does it work for you? And if it's not working for you, you have the power to change it. You're the only one that has the power to change it. All right. So I hope this was good for y'all. Again, please go to my website, thebarefootTherapist.org. Take the free listeners assessment. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what your scores are, like what your listener type ends up being. sign up on rooted-one.com, which is my startup tech company, and get on the wait list to be a beta tester. We'll have beta testing coming up soon. So if you're interested in testing some of my mental health and wellness applications coming up, go to rooted-one.com and you can sign up to be a beta tester. Again, you go to thebarefoottherapist.org. All of my books, the free listening assessment is there. You can sign up for coaching services there. So if you, anytime that you inquire on my website, my receptionist will get back to you. We are closed on the weekends. We are open Monday through Friday. And then of course please continue to like and subscribe, share with your friends. I want to make sure I'm delivering information that is you guys care about, that you want to hear, that you need support in. And insurance is another one of those things. So I definitely want to make sure I talk more about that, because a lot of times people have all these benefits they have no idea about, especially in regards to like mental health and wellness. So I'll talk more about that. But I hope you have a beautiful weekend. I was so happy to be here with you today, and I will see y'all soon. Peace.